All right, everybody, we've heard the crowd go crazy for the Pango. We've heard them go crazy for Na'Vi. We've got Na'Vi picking the Pangolier this time around. I think we can get the crowd to the hypest we've had them so far this event. It's super important for Na'Vi here. They're down one game in the best of three up against Mineski, but you heard it from the panel. They like Na'Vi's draft quite a bit this game. Danog, what's your take?
I'm kind of in agreement. I really like the way that Na'Vi have gone about this, but exactly like Crowley said, there is a set time that they have that they need to finish this game by. That pure double save coming out for the Deucer is going to be absolutely huge. I think they're going to look to get very, very aggressive with this Keeper of the Light and the Wraith King. We've seen it done several times, 100% win rate for Wraith King so far for Na'Vi throughout this tournament, over 3 games, and a big part of that has come off the aggression that you're able to use with the Wraith Fire Blast.
Yep, and as I say that, well, as you say that, Febby already running up onto the high ground and taking a huge amount of damage to start the game. KP going to come in here with a couple of body blocks and just make sure that Febby survives, but that is going to make it difficult to contest these top bounties. And Misha's still chasing. He's thinking about going for another blast here, potentially. Does have the Illuminate off cooldown, but instead just going to snag that bounty, and it will end up being a 2-2 split across the map.
I don't think they mind that too much. I really don't want to see a single Midas come up for Na'Vi. They do not have the time to be able to do it.
Yeah, I really do think they need to just kind of run it. Even no Midas for the sniper, even with the cooldown reduction talent?
No.
Do you think he's going to do well in this mid lane? A little bit of an overblock to begin with here, so Magical unfortunately finds himself under the tower and at the mercy of the denies from the Tiny. Does have that tree grab.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's an okay lane for the sniper. He has to be very mindful of any sort of rotations coming through for him. And been getting a nice last hit off onto that range creep, and now having the lane underneath his tower, just a lot safer for him.
Yeah, he shouldn't. The sniper should never get tossed back in this lane, right?
No, I don't think so. It'd be a grave misposition by Magical if that was the case. And I'm thinking we might see Febby look to rotate as much as possible.
Yeah, they put a lot of faith in the Tiny in the previous game and doing pretty much the exact same thing so far here, but we can see why he is doing exceedingly well on the CS. He's got 5 and 2 to start with. He got pretty much the entire Dire Wave and got a couple of those denies under the tower. And the wave is actually continuing to just pogo back and forth, but I think this favors the Tiny with his superior base damage.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've just seen him last hit, or rather deny, both range creeps in these first 2 waves, so very, very important.
And other than that, we just have some normal like creep pull shenanigans going on over in the side lanes. Febby pulling things back. Misha trying to be at least a little bit of a nuisance, get some denies in here, try and force Febby into the tower, and does get the nice little deny on the range creep there. So nicely done by him. KP already putting some kind of pressure onto Crystallize.
I mean, this is very different from the Razor matchup, right? You can actually be right up there contesting with the safe lane carry.
Yeah, they're not. I don't think just with the dual lane they're going to kill him, right? Just the Wraith King plus the Keeper of the Light seems very, very unlikely.
Yeah, Keeper's kill potential is very, very low. I mean, the base armor of Doom, not the highest in the entire game, and leaves him a little bit susceptible, but I think he's essentially a range creep right now, Misha.
Yeah. Unfortunately for KP, only has the Centaur creep so far, so not the best. We've been seeing a lot of the Alpha Wolf, a lot of the Ice Ogre.
The Hadouken creep.
Yeah, also pretty decent. All of that extra regen means that the harassment really means nothing to you.
Yep.
But, all right, a little bit of damage onto KP. Crystallize running forward. They do get the stuns out. They're stacking their stuns a little bit just to 100% make sure that KP survives. The wave is also pushing pretty heavily, so there's some experience to be gained soon. And Ajit actually taking a lot of auto attacks down here at bottom. The Pango plus Shaman lane doing pretty well. Though it looks like Chu is given a lot of experience to Blizzy. Blizzy's level 3. And Chu, at the moment, only level 1.
Yeah, just wanting to harass as much as possible. Make sure he can come online. You can see with what he's got queued up, looks like he might be building towards the Maelstrom, although just has the Javelin in his quick buy so far. Yeah. And I think that's just so that you can enable that base level of farm for himself. I think the Diffusal is definitely the best item to go for this game.
Yeah, it's man, the Javelin's such a weird item that it's like, it's just a good farming item on Pangolier, right?
Absolutely. I mean, I'm kind of surprised that we haven't seen, before this game, any Pangolier so far in this entire tournament series.
What happened to this hero, Danog?
Honestly, I have no clue.
Okay.
It just seems very, very solid. You know, the offlane tends to be these real aura-carrying heroes that are hard to kill. Once you're in the Rolling Thunder, there's not really too much the enemy team can do against you. Right?
Moon in a little bit of danger at mid lane, though still fairly tanky. Magical plinking away at him. And needs a couple more CS to actually get his bottle, but is getting denied very heavily by the sniper, so we'll see what he does. Could maybe pop a mango and just combo the creep wave, but
has to be a little bit careful.
yeah, he's trying for aggro tricks at the moment. Looks like he'll get a couple of these and be okay.
He'll get the range creeps.
Oh, he actually got two salves ferried out. So there you go.
Well, interrupted.
That's why he bought 2.
Yeah. So how are we seeing these other lanes going? I mean, early on, it's looking very, very even across all 6 cores. It's just
it's a really high farm game, huh? We've got all 6 cores quite a lot. Even the supports, couple of CS here and there, just from the waves being dragged. It isn't really that much of a laning stage, to be honest. Lots of creeps being dragged, lots of farming. Tiny bit of pressure on the Medusa here, and they are running forward as well with you. Ajit doesn't have a support just yet. He's trying to team back up with Ninja Boogie, just juking into the trees, but they're going to find him, and here comes the Shackle. Blizzy can't quite get in position for the auto attacks, though. Should have another swashbuckle soon, and that is going to be your first blood. Magical getting chased down by Moon here at the mid lane, but just harassing him. They're both getting super low. Nobody else really intervening. The toss is coming back off cooldown. Moon still chasing. Can he finish this kill? Magical jukes into the tree line and gets the salve off. Gets the HP advantage in this situation, and the jukes continue. Moon maybe diving a little bit too far. There's another shrapnel, and he will finally be brought down. Boogie also rotating over, but no way that he turns this kill, and such a nice little salve.
Absolutely. Good recognition as well from the bottom lane from Na'Vi. Realizing that Ninja Boogie wasn't there, was there contesting the bounty runes instead.
So, slow start from Mineski. Not necessarily what we're used to seeing from them, but I think that is just kind of the nature of having the Medusa. Other little thing to point out, which I found out about recently. Apparently on Pangolier, if you swashbuckle through somebody, you can actually get an auto attack off as
during
the swashbuckle is happening.
Travel duration?
Yeah, yeah.
Ah, that's interesting.
So you can optimize your damage a little bit more, and we saw Blizzy do that in that situation. So it looks like he's a pretty experienced Pangolier player.
Yeah. Especially later on, right, into the game, once you get that bit of extra farm, your supports are going to be much, much lower relative to yourself. So you're going to be able to pick them off nice and easily.
So there you go. That's the storyline that the panel were kind of talking about, right? That there is this timer for the Na'Vi draft. They got to get online and they got to take those buildings, keep the Wraith King aggression up, don't let the Medusa get too out of hand, and once again they are just running at Ajit down bottom here, keeping him out of the lane. Hard for the Mineski supports to really help him that much. We do see Febi now rotating down, about to join the lane, but it's pushed really far underneath the tower. And I don't know if they can actually get a kill or really pressure this objective that much, but it looks like Febi preferring to play down here instead.
Yeah. I mean, KP would love to have a Seder creep. Oh.
Blizzy jumps forward really aggressively just to get some harassment onto Ajit. Looks like he might just be straight up dead for that. One more auto attack and they feed the kill onto the Medusa. No need for that. A little bit of damage on top lane as they try and respond on Na'Vi, but KP's just fine. Got some skeletons of his own.
Got some skeletons of his own, regenning up. We've seen in this top lane a little bit Misha actually using the Illuminate to push the wave as much as possible. Wraith King prioritizing the skeletons build, making sure they're able to keep constant pressure onto this tower. So I think if KP was able to pick up a Seder creep, to have the Hadouken, to just increase that counter push potential, it's going to do so much for him.
Oh, they are making another attempt on KP's life, but once again, pretty tanky with his phase boots, helping out the armor situation. And now a little bit of trouble for Febi. Looks like he just wanted to come in here and maybe get some dewarding done over at mid lane, but this should be a free kill either for Chu or for Magical. One more auto attack from Chu is going to do it. Moon is charging in, but nothing that he can really find, unfortunately, though. He is going to have pretty good control over this mid lane for the next little bit and try and get some damage onto the tier 1 tower.
Yeah.
Oh. Again, same story. KP actually just stands right in place. Completely dodges the Illuminator. Bottom Ninja Boogie gets brought down by Blizzy, and it's Blizzy getting turned around on now, as he will be brought down in the end by Ajit. I think that's a trade that Ninja Boogie is pretty happy to give away.
Absolutely.
Any extra farm they can get on this Medusa is going to be great.
Yeah, I mean, he did give up the first blood, and you know, he has been rotating a little bit on Ninja Boogie as well, but just have a look at this tri-camp on the Radiant side. How many stacks have already been built up by KP? So that's really going to enable Medusa to accelerate rapidly and farm when she's already in a lead of about 300.
Was he stacking with the skeletons?
Yep.
All right. I mean, he is a Naga player, so I'm sure he's having no trouble whatsoever. Actually, I'm going to have to go back and watch the replay to check that out. That's really cool. I was going to ask if there were any stacks over on the Na'Vi side potentially as well. They're not too bad at clearing them either. Shrapnel, Illuminate, etc. KP getting gone on once again, but the Illuminate was already used a second ago. I don't think he's going down here, but they just want to pressure him. He's tanking up a lot, going for the Vanguard this game. We saw a greedier build from the Na'Vi Doom in the previous game, going for the Midas.
Yeah, all the
Nothing like that. Yeah, Misha in some danger. They've got the lockdown. Crystallize going to come in and try and help out, but his support is already dead. Stun not going to end up doing anything. And you said you didn't want to see any Midases, Matt. We've got one queued up on the Wraith King.
I hate it.
Yeah,
I absolutely hate it.
That's fair.
And it's not like it's the only way that he knows how to play the hero as well. We've seen in recent games that they've had here at the ESL One Mumbai. He's built treads, phase. Oh,
another attempt onto KP. Again, maybe just a little bit too tanky, and the RT being in here on the Tiny.
Tossing him.
Just tossing him over towards his teammates to ensure that damage. They bring him down, and they look for the +1 onto Crystallize. He has skilled up the ultimate, so he'll be back soon, but they've got an Infernal Blade. They've got a Doom. Can they actually bring him down? Tossing him over onto Misha instead, now looking for that kill. They are getting the sniper involved for this, trying for the turnaround, both mid laners rotating.
Moon's in deep.
Moon in pretty deep, but he does have the phase boots coming off cooldown in a second. Boogie might be the one who gets caught instead, and the swashbuckle completely whiffing as Boogie will finally be brought down by the Assassinate. Can they also bring down this Tiny? Nice chain stun coming in from the Rolling Thunder. They brought all 3 cores up here from Na'Vi. They had to get these kills.
They had to get them. They did a good job in getting them. I think Mineski did a great job to try and delay that as much as they could. You know, all this time, Ajit's been farming in this mid lane. He's 700 gold ahead of the next highest net worth hero, and that is KP on his own team. He's 1,400 gold ahead of the highest Na'Vi hero.
And Mineski are playing their lineup pretty well, I would say. These stacks are going to be scary. It seemed like the Medusa was getting pressured a little bit in the laning stage early on there, Danog, but
yeah,
it didn't really seem like it amounted to too much. And Boogie going for another quick stack here, just gets it. Oh man, there is so much farm waiting for the Medusa.
Yeah, this is
over
nuts.
Here.
She's got a Yasha now, you know, just looking to take her own jungle so far, but might be rotating through to it very, very shortly. I think she'll need the rest of her team to kind of be grouping around it a little bit, or at least close by. Maybe have Boogie soak up some of that mid lane experience.
This is cool. They're getting some levels up on Febby too. And the Venge just the Venge is really nice with levels, right? You can play without them, but you really want to get that level 12. You want to get that second point up in the swap. And Febby also just farming towards a Vlad, which is going to be another great item this game. It seems like they're just... I love the way that they're itemizing for the Medusa, right?
Yeah.
Lots of teamfight auras. They know the way that this needs to be played. Protect Ajit, get items for him, let him win you the game.
I mean, this smoke is happening with Chu as well as Blizzy trying to find out this Medusa because she's been missing on the map for quite a while, but they don't realize how big of a stack she's actually clearing. She's gone through, she's cleared that top stack now, going towards the Ancients. Don't think she'll get the stack this time, but still, it's just so much gold being funneled into this Medusa.
Yeah. And Ajit, I mean, he only picked up the Yasha a little while ago and already has the money for what looks like a Dragon Lance. We do have a secondary Midas being picked up for Na'Vi in this situation. Blizzy jumping forward here, trying to clear the wave as they do try and push with the Master Rewards, but it seems like Ajit going to clear these up pretty well. That's just some extra gold for him.
Yeah, absolutely. He's like, sure, why not?
Yeah.
I'll take that 2,200 gold lead. Thank you very much.
Ooh, Febby. All right. Is he going to try for this deny at bottom? He's going to pop out of the trees. Doesn't quite get it. A little bit mistimed, unfortunately. And there are 4 Na'Vi heroes down here to punish him for the attempt. I think it would have been worth it if he'd gotten it.
It would have. And honestly, I mean, the heroes were there already, right? So...
yeah.
It doesn't make too much of a difference, but it's just Febby. Like, it's a position 4. Do you really care if he dies if there's 4 heroes that had to be committed to make it happen? Probably not.
Mineski also getting a trade.
Yeah.
So
I think Na'Vi are playing for, like, in the next 5 or so minutes because they placed down these deep wards when they did go for that smoke gank with Chu as well as Blizzy.
it seems like Na'Vi kind of disagree with the take that our panel had on this game about them